Take Gunstar Heroes and mix it with Bionic Commando and you have Steel Assault. But instead of running and gunning your way through baddies, you have this bionic whip that makes dealing with them a lot more difficult than you're used to. They can shoot at you from a distance, but you have to get up close and personal, which leads to enemies getting a cheap hit in if you aren't careful. In this regard, it's kind of like Strider too, just much more difficult. And that's not a bad thing at all. The game is fun, and an excellent throwback to the arcades and Sega Genesis games of the 90s. But prepare to die, a lot. Thankfully, the checkpoints are forgiving, and even if you die at the boss, it'll start you right where you left off. You won't have to retread the entire level all over again. Unfortunately, the game is incredibly short. Once you manage to get a handle on the controls and the way to play, it gets a lot easier. But getting there is half the battle. Using the zip line is a pain, and incredibly frustrating when that's your only way to climb certain areas, especially when you're trying your best to climb up while avoiding the swarms of enemies and bullets they throw at you at once. Sometimes you really just want a gun to hit those enemies that are across the screen. But all you can really do is try and avoid the gunfire, and hope not to get hit. Boss fights are difficult and seemingly impossible when you first encounter them, but you can defeat them, with lots of practice. But I guess if the game was any easier, you'd realize how short the game is. But what is presented is very fun, even when you want to throw the controller at the screen. And the music is so good, like Streets of Rage good. While Steel Assault doesn't do anything new or different from the 16-bit games it takes inspiration from, it does take the best aspects of those games and mashes them together in a frustratingly fun game that you won't want to miss.